They are not there to arrest. They have been trained to look at the head. They take the head, there's no court case. They operate outside of the constitution. When there's a crime and they are called, they take you. Today we've got kidnapping in this country. That is not the crime of South Africans.
The 360 experience with Thomas M.
In terms of crime, the PA has been very vocal on getting tougher on crime, and you've positioned yourselves as a party that understands how we can really get to the bottom of the problem of crime in our country. Talk to us about how you think, from a national perspective now, we can solve this problem. I think violent crime is at 20-year highs as we speak right now.
Indeed.
It's out of control. The government doesn't seem to have a clue how to deal with it. What would the PA do to get a handle on this crisis, which just seems to spiral out of control every year?
So, guys, before we allow Kunene to go on and answer the question, do you think that these people that are governing South Africa today, are they serious about solving this issue of crime? Are these people serious about actually saving the lives of South Africans? Are they serious? Every day, guys, when you go online, every day when you watch the news, something horrible happened in the streets of South Africa. Right now, in South Africa, we don't have war. But because so many people are dying in the country, we are actually competing with the countries that are at war. This is how crazy it is that so many South Africans are dying today, and we are actually competing with the countries that are at war. And South Africa, there is no war that is happening. So are these people actually serious about solving this issue of crime? Every time when I think about this issue of crime, I remember last time when Bekele told the parliament that in the past 5 years, from 2019, I think to 2023, 5,000 police officers were actually charged of heinous crimes. Guys, I'm talking about serious stuff. 5,000 police officers. But 4,000 of them are still wearing the South African Police Service uniform. Do you understand, guys, that if you are stopped by a police officer today, chances are you could be stopped by one of these thugs that have actually been charged of heinous crimes. But for some reason, these people are still wearing the South African Police Service uniform. And the minister was asked, why? How is it possible that these people are still working for South African Police Service? And his answer was I don't know. I don't know why those people are still working for South African Police Service, because these people have been charged of heinous crimes. So are these people actually serious of solving this issue of crime? Guys, the people are being slaughtered in the streets of South Africa. Ramaphosa today, he has been under fire for putting so much energy, time and effort into the matters of Israel and Palestine. Ramaphosa is under fire because Ramaphosa is talking about the genocide that is taking place in Palestine. And people are like, President, can you please look at the genocide that is taking place in South Africa? Your people are being slaughtered in the streets of South Africa. Right now, the illegal immigrants, they come from wherever they come from, and they are hijacking the buildings in the middle of the cities. This is unheard of, guys. You will never hear of illegal immigrants going to Botswana and hijacking the buildings in the middle of Gaborone. You will never hear the story of illegal immigrants going to Nigeria and hijack the buildings in the middle of Lagos. You will never hear of that. It is only in South Africa where all of these things are happening. So it begs the question, man. Are these people actually serious about solving this issue of crime?
I think you're giving them credit by mentioning only crime. They don't have a clue on how to do anything.
Okay, well, fair.
Look, crime fighting is a very straightforward and simple thing to do. You know the criminals. You go for them. You establish units that deals with specific crimes.
But we do have those units in South Africa today. How many policing units do we have in South Africa? Why are those units not effective? Why are those units not effective? Of course, I'm not taking away from anything that Kunene is saying, but I'm simply saying that in South Africa today, we already have those units. But why do we still have like this issue of crime when we have so many units working for South African governance? How is it possible, man? How is it possible?
These units must be units made up of men and women who have gone through proper training, who psychologically understands that it is about the country. Not a unit that would say, when we find 100 grams of cocaine, let's take 50% and keep 50%. Not a unit that would say, when it gets into a house with the money that was robbed, they say, no, let's take 40%, let's give 60%. But you also beef up your police stations. We've got technology today that assists you. Body cams, cameras on the streets, cameras that are able to even talk to each other, cameras that profile people. Why is the country not investing in those things?
Man, and that is a very good question. Why are we not investing in that kind of technology, man? Like the fact that today we don't have the body cams. The South African Police Service officers, they don't have body cams. Their cars, they don't have any cameras. We do not have any technology. We are so far behind. Was this thing done purposefully? Was this thing done like to make sure that the South African Police Service cannot get grip of this issue of crime? Was this thing done deliberately so that the South African Police Service cannot be effective? Because the countries right now, they are moving so fast with technology. Technology is moving so fast. But in South Africa, we are still doing things as if we are still in 1970s and 1980s. But how, like, why? Why is it that way? Like, I do not understand it, man. You think about all of these things. You think about the technology. You think about the training that other people from other countries, the kind of training that police officers are getting from other countries. And you look at the training that police officers are getting in South Africa. These people, they do not even know how to write statements. You go to a police station, man. These people are asking people to write their own affidavits. This is how bad things are in South Africa. And I remember the last time when Ian Cameron was confronting Bekele, he said that, man, you are hiring people who are incompetent. You are hiring people with no experience, and these people, they don't know what they are doing. They have no clue of what they are doing. But for some reason, you are expecting these people to get a grip of crime that is terrorizing the communities. What is it exactly that is happening in South Africa, man? What is stopping these people from making sure that the South African Police Service is well equipped? What is stopping them from making sure that South African Police Service is hiring the people who are actually qualified to be there? What actually stops them from making sure that South African Police Service takes people to proper training, unlike this nonsense training that they are taking these police officers to?
But also you need to increase the sentences. You know, if somebody comes into your house and traumatizes you, robs you, traumatizes you, it's called housebreaking. And that person gets 3 years, 4 years. You need to then say, how do we then give sentences to crimes that are committed? That becomes a deterrent. You can't have somebody who rapes an infant being given 25 years. After 18 years, that person is out. He might even be out after 16 years. So you need to say this person must die. He does not deserve to live. That's why we are bringing back the death penalty.
And guys, would you be in favor of a death penalty? But I believe that a lot of work has to be done before we even talk of death penalty, before we even initiate this whole thing of death penalty. But I think a lot of work needs to be done. I honestly believe that the whole South African Police Service, it needs to be overhauled. This whole South African Police Service thing, it needs to be overhauled. It needs to be destroyed. It needs to be destroyed, because right now what is happening in that department, man, it is a mess. What is happening in South African Police Service, it is a mess. Right now, people in the townships, they are even scared. They are even scared of reporting the people who are committing the crimes. Guess what? The police services men are telling the same criminals that such and such is the one who called us. And before you even know it, the lives of people in the streets, they are in danger, because the South African Police Service is working with the same criminals. This is why I'm saying that, man, if we have a new governance, I hope that the South African Police Service, the whole system is overhauled, because right now, man, it is costing the country. It is costing the country, and instead of protecting the people of this country, it is actually putting the lives of people of this country in more danger. The South African Police Service has actually failed the South Africans, man.
You must hang them. Injection is too expensive. You must hang them and kill them. The people who kill, who rape young people, who rape old people, the people who kill people, women, after raping them, these people must be killed. You have, our country crime levels are at a point where you must go fire to fire when you are dealing with crime. You know, there's a country that I saw now, I can't just remember on top of my head. They have just passed a law that when you rape an infant, you must be castrated. So that country is tired of that crime. We are not tired enough of these crimes.
Exactly, man. It feels like South Africans haven't had enough. I honestly feel like South Africans haven't had enough, man. The fact that we are still voting the same way we are voting, it's it clearly shows that South Africans haven't had enough. We are complaining about crimes. People are being slaughtered in the streets. People are being attacked in their own homes. But it looks like South Africans, as people, man, we haven't had enough. And I actually agree with Kunene that we haven't had enough as people of this country. We haven't had enough. Because by now, man, we should be talking about these things that Patriotic Alliance is talking about. Crime is bad in South Africa. Guys, we have to be honest. Crime is bad in South Africa. And if we are going to deal with these criminals, we have to make sure that the South African Police Service are tough on these criminals. We have to make sure that we don't have any mercy for criminals in South Africa. Right now, they are talking about the correctional services. People are terrorizing the streets, and you are taking them to these correctional services, and these people are taken care of by the taxpayers. The same taxpayers, they are terrorizing in the streets. The people now, can you imagine, man? Can you imagine someone comes into your home, they terrorize you and your children and your whole family, but after that you still have to pay tax so that you can take care of the same bastard who terrorized you and your family. This is like the correctional services thing. It is not working. Criminals can actually see that, oh, in South Africa things are very nice. Things are very nice in South Africa. You go to jail, you will go to school, you're gonna eat 3 meals a day. It doesn't matter, man. Like the fact that we have people in South Africa today who cannot even afford food, but criminals in jail, these people are afforded 3 meals a day. It's an insult to South Africans, guys. That is an insult to South Africans.
So the PA, you've got so many prisons in this country. You even have private prisons. People still escape from private prisons. That's how rotten the system is.
I see someone recently just escaped. We've had the whole Thabo Bester situation.
Yes.
Someone just escaped a week ago or something.
Yes. So it shows you how rotten the system is. So you need to break down the system and bring a new system. Rwanda has done it. Kagame has done it. Do you know that the rhinos in South Africa are in Rwanda? The rhinos have been taken to Rwanda for safekeeping.
Right.
South African government acknowledges that they are useless when it comes to crime. And Kagame said, bring them here. I don't have to guard them. Nobody will.
And it's so disgusting that these people who are supposed to deal with crime, have you seen their security, guys? Have you seen the security of Bekikele? Have you seen the security of Bekikele? You remember last time, people were furious at the Minister of Police that he used the government police helicopter to go to an ANC rally. The same helicopter that was supposed to be used somewhere in South Africa to fight crime. the Minister of Police saw it fit for him to go to an ANC rally with that helicopter. Have you seen their security? You remember Ian Cameron confronting Bekitele. He said, Bekitele, I dare you to walk in the streets of Cape Town with no security. I dare you to walk in the streets of Cape Town with no security. We hear you are here. You are talking all this political nonsense. You are giving us endless speeches, but you are actually doing nothing about crime. You are actually doing nothing about crime. And the reason why I'm saying that South Africans haven't heard enough. You remember that day, the same people who applauded for Ian Cameron for confronting Bekitele. As soon as Bekitele started playing the racial politics, people turned on Ian Cameron. The same person who is fighting for them, people turned on him, and now they were clapping hands for Bekitele. The same minister who is failing to keep them safe in their streets. This is why I'm saying that South Africans haven't heard enough. South Africans haven't heard enough. That act alone was supposed to make sure that Bekitele was fired on the spot. Ramaphosa was supposed to fire Bekitele on the spot for using that police helicopter to attend an ANC rally. Ramaphosa was supposed to fire Bekitele on the spot, but did he do that? No.
We got them. But nobody will touch them. That is political leadership. You don't have that here. You bring Gaten McKenzie and Kunene to run this country. Crime will be something of the past. Because it can be done. You change the laws, you arrest, you tighten the screws, you establish courts that deal with particular crimes. And they deal with them decisively. In some countries, they even establish units where robbers know when this unit comes, they are not there to arrest. They have been trained to look at the head. They take the head, there's no court case. They operate outside of the Constitution. When there's a crime and they are called, they take you. Today we've got kidnapping in this country. That is not the crime of South Africans. South Africans don't kidnap. So even international syndicates have now come to this country to implement crimes that are not known to South Africans. But they are using South Africans to drive cars with their licenses after they kidnap people. So that when police stop them, it's a South African criminal that is driving.
And Julius Malema has the audacity to say that all of these people that are coming to South Africa to commit all of these crimes, they have the right to commit the crimes because South Africans are also committing the crimes. Julius Malema has the audacity to say that these criminal syndicates have the right to come to South Africa to commit all of these crimes because the people of this country, they are also committing crimes.
So they are introducing our people to crimes that they are not used to.
Sure.
Being a hitman has become a career in this country. It just shows you that we have no government. We have no leadership. We have people who are heartless. And I don't understand how South Africans still vote for them. They are heartless, my brother. You've got a system that spends billions in advertising that teenage girls must not fall pregnant. And when they fall pregnant, they spend even more billions to pay them for every child that they make. How do you bring a system to overpopulate the country like that? Create more poverty in the country. You must be heartless. You cannot be a parent. You have this government that has opened up borders for people to come here. Anybody who is illegal in a country does not have a place to stay. So, what do? They rob, they rape, they steal, they kill. That is why areas like Deep Slaughter are up in arms, because they are experiencing the death at the hands of illegal immigrants. And you have got a president and the whole cabinet that is fine with that. That is actually defending it. So, we will do things differently. I think we have proven it. They are now talking about auditing spaza shops. How do you audit? Why don't you send, you know where the spaza shops are. Why can't you send your police? You have established immigration officers, but you are saying mayors must go and audit. Like, these guys are clueless. You populate this country, every town, with immigration officers arresting people. That's what is done all over the world. You find immigration officers everywhere. And they ask you, where's your passport? You don't have a passport, you get arrested and deported. Here, people loiter, people get arrested for rape, they get bail, they don't even have papers. These are the things that are coming to us. Here you have a Zimbabwean with no papers being the chairperson of an SGP.
Guys, South Africa is rotten, man. South Africa is rotten to the core. South Africa is rotten to the core.
Here you have a Nigerian who is an executive who is terrorizing our people in a public institution. So, the PA's mission is one and one only: to rid this country of crime.
And guys, what do you think is their purpose, man? What do you think is their purpose? What is their purpose exactly? For actually allowing criminality to thrive in South Africa, man, what is their purpose actually? What is their purpose? Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
The 360 experience with Thomas M.